Hi, everybody. I'm sorry that I have an axe murderer introducing me on the show. It sounds that way sometimes, doesn't it? And this evening I'm a little bit down because my little baby pussycat had to be put to sleep over the weekend. And I'll be talking about that, grief and handling grief, and maybe a myriad of other things related to that. Welcome to the show. There is a website for the show called spiritmediumtv.com, and there you can find a myriad of resources, including booking a private session with me. If you put radio show in the event code field when you book your appointment, you will obtain a third more time free. That means if you book 30 minutes, you get 10 minutes extra. You get 40 minutes for the price of 30 minutes. Just go to booklaura.com and place radio show in the event code field, and you will be able to obtain that extra time for free. As well, on spiritmediumtv.com, that's the website for the show, item 3 has a live video feed of me in front of a camera. Okay, you can see the puffiness around my eyes from crying. No, I'm only kidding. But I have been kind of sad. Believe me, it is not easy, this one. If you would like to join the webinar, that live video feed, you can do that at item 3 on spiritmediumtv.com. And we'd love to have you in the live video. It makes it more interesting. And you also get priority in the queue. Speaking of priority in the queue, if you do the 8 No Wait, that is a donation of $8. Item 2 on spiritmediumtv.com allows you to jump to the top of the queue using the 8 No Wait. And it simply means you're going to donate $8 on that page, and you will go to the top of the, I will put you at the top of the queue. The only thing that goes before that is somebody, well, the top of the queue would be somebody who wants another side connection and made a donation. Then I put other side connections. Then I put people who made donations, and then people who are in the webinar, they also get priority in the queue. And then I get to whoever just called in and didn't do any of those things, which is fine. I do try to get it to as many people that call without sacrificing quality. But, you know, I also believe that at times one person's issues are very universal, and we are syncing together on energy levels, so many of you will benefit by the other callers to the show without even realizing it, because we've all gathered here this evening because we all have to have questions answered that possibly will be answered by other people's readings. Enough of that philosophy, right? Okay, so we have a website for the show called spiritmediumtv.com. You can watch me live there. You can enter the webinar there. You can get a discount on a private session with me from there. You can also jump to the top of the queue from there. I don't think there's much else I have to say other than if you'd like to join my mailing list, I'd love to have you, and you will be kept informed at a much more detailed level than you are on the radio show, as I'm doing events constantly. I also have articles that I'm writing, and they would come out in also recommended products or whatever's going on. You'll get more information than the radio show. So if you want to embed yourself a little bit more fully in relationship with Spirit Medium Laura, just join the mailing list at spiritmediumtv.com. On the sidebar is an opportunity to join the mailing list there. Okay, so each time I do the show, for the first 15 to 20 minutes or so, I'm going to do a focused subject. Then I channel a group message if you're new to the show, and I think we do have some new callers here today. So the focus subject for this evening is how essential oils can help you with grief. And the story, I have an article now, by the way, it's a post. And if you're listening to this at a future date in time, if you go to spiritmediumtv.com or spiritmediumlaura.com, it's my web. Each of those is a page on my website. If you put in the sidebar in the search field, essential oils for grief, you will find the article. I have a beautiful picture of my cat there. She's at the vet, one of the last moments of her life. And what happened was Friday night, I came home from doing something social and got home late, and the cat started to cough, and she does that at times. But this time, her face turned blue, and she started to do a few other things that were very strange, and I realized I had to get her to the vet. And when I did, euthanasia was recommended because she had an embolism that went to her heart. And I wasn't ready for that, although the cat is 15 years old. It didn't even enter my mind. I guess I'm pretty stupid, but living in the moment at 1 a.m. on a Friday to Saturday morning, 12 midnight to Saturday morning on Friday, I wasn't thinking of all those things. I wasn't prepared. Anyway, I was unable to sleep when I got home, and I was in a knot and had all kinds of anxiety. And I couldn't go to sleep. So I am now in a certification program utilizing essential oils as part of a healing process for people. And I've been led to this through spirit, actually, to improve my healing work. Now, essential oils have the unique capability of rewriting the emotional association of an event. It just so happens that a high-grade therapeutic level oil, when smelled, goes right into the brain, the primitive brain, the subconscious brain. And when you're in the middle of trauma, or if you're calling up a traumatic memory for the sake of releasing the emotional charge of that event, in either of those two cases, if you are smelling an essential oil of the right quality, the right tone to it, emotional tone to it, you can reframe the event. So I brought out my stress away, frankincense and lavender. This particular company, Young Living, has other ones. There's one called Trauma Relief, I think, or Trauma something or other. In any event, if you get the right oil and you smell it when you're in the middle of an emotional mess, you'll calm down. And I was able to go to sleep. I needed it for 2 more days. Each time I was about to go to sleep, that's when it all bothered me. So I'm caring to tell you that if you are experiencing any kind of trauma, any kind of emotions, okay, maybe you're still holding on to something that you don't even know is blocking you from realizing a happier, better life, from realizing the manifestation of your dreams. Essential oils can be embedded into your process, your healing process, and all sorts of wonderful things can happen. If you're in a grief situation, if you've had loss, you can use an essential oil to help with that. And if you would like a private session, I have at the top of spiritmediumtv.com a link. Let me see what the headline is to like. New! Claim your appointment for healing blocks to manifesting your dream with aroma freedom. And that's where you would go to learn more about this and how you can access the miracle power of spiritual steps to releasing blocks, to healing, and to living the best life possible that you can live. Okay, so I am offering a third more time free in those sessions, and you do need to buy some oils that go with it. But I think it's well worth it, as I have been utilizing the techniques of clearing emotional blocks. Even in my own life, I have been experiencing more joy, more peace, more sense of freedom, and living at a more radiant, higher vibrational level. Want to raise your frequency? Want to raise your vibration? Want to raise your ability to create the life that you desire? If it's love that you want or more prosperity, I do invite you to investigate this particular therapeutic process for your own healing to happiness. Okay, And now I'm going to do a channeled group message, and then I will go to the phone lines. As I mentioned, I will be doing other side connections first. Susie, honey, Susie's helping me with the switchboard. I don't remember, Susie, if you wanted an other side connection. I guess I can check that quickly. Hold on. Because if she has a live question, then I will get her after the other side connection. It's a live question. Okay. So I will be doing other side connections. Then I will be doing donations. And then if there's anybody in the chat room, yippee, I'll be checking that. I'm going to check right now just to see if there is anybody in there. Anybody in there? We had some really brave person last Wednesday in there. All righty. I don't think so, but I'm just clearing that page. Nah. All right, nobody's brave out there, huh? Okay. I'll just say it one more time. If you want to go into the webinar and be part of history, just go to spiritmediumtv.com, and item 3 on that page says press here, and you can enter the webinar. And reminder, just mute your mic if you do go in, because I'm going to be doing some very sensitive work right now. Okay, and so we're about to enter into a psychic connection, everybody. So if you would please sit back in your respective locations as Laura fires up the jets to another dimension. Sit back in your respective locations, uncross your arms and legs. Start to focus on your abdominal area as you breathe in deeply and exhale, relaxing into the spiritual response of abdominal breathing. If you are wanting an other side connection, please call in your loved ones at this time. Ask them to sit with you and wait until I can get there. If you are wanting a regular life question or healing, focus in now on those issues so that Spirit can be better able to address your needs. And on your next exhale, oh no, I'm going to now go do the prayer. Sorry, I'm going to do the prayer silently while each of you does what I've just asked, calling in your loved ones from the other side if you want an other side connection, or focusing your mind on what you need about your own life healing or just information. One moment, I'll be right back. Now on your next exhale of breath, if you would please release into your space your energy, I will connect us. One moment, please. Okay, wonderful. And give me a moment while I make a connection to Spirit for a channeled message. We are here. We have come to be with each of you to discuss the nature of reality and what is happening when a soul enters the spiritual world, in particular an animal. It was asked earlier today of Laura if she could answer that question. What does indeed happen to an animal when they leave their parent on earth and go into the spiritual realm? When we say parent, we mean an earth parent, a human parent. We do not mean their animal parent. We mean that when a pet goes into spirit world and has been adopted by a human person, what happens to that cat or that dog or whatever pet it is if it was used to the care of a human on earth? Indeed, most of these animals do find family members related to the family from which they came. They will find human relatives in the spirit world who will nurse and look after them as they were looked after on earth. They do not need anyone to take care of them per se in a day-to-day fashion. However, they do need someone to look after them as far as emotional and spiritual connection. And therefore, animals will have the choice to be with human relatives in the spirit realm, or they may go off into the wild as they would on earth. An animal is always choosing whether or not it will stay with its human home and family, you see, just as an animal will in the spirit realm. And so we say to you that your pet, if it has left you from earth, if it has entered into the spiritual kingdom, is gone to be with your relatives or your friends and family that would decide or want to take care of it. Or it may go into another area where animals are with other animals. It is up to the animal to choose. No care is needed for the animal any longer. However, emotional connections might be relevant. Namaste. Okay. All right, I'm going to go to the first other side connection. Okay, we'll do Susie. Susie just left me a little message. I'm going to Cece, who is wanting an other side connection. Hello, Cece. Hi, sweetie. I don't think your mother is in spirit, but I do feel a mother figure for you. Keep feeling that over and over again. I'm going to see what I can develop here, honey, okay? All right, and then we'll come back to you right away. There's a woman here standing before me that looks a little bit like you in the face. And I don't know what you look like, I forgot. Oh yeah, I do remember now. Well, her face is a little different than from yours, but Spirit is saying she looks a little bit like you in her face. I'm giving you stereo messages. Part of what I remember, part of what Spirit is saying something and showing me something. So the thing that's different is a little bit different than what I remember your photo to be. Is her nose a little wider in the area between the eyes, and then it kind of comes down and gets a little bit more narrow at the tip. And your nose is fairly equal, I think, from between the eyes to the end of the nose. But hers looks like a little bit more pointed, a little bit more narrow. She's flaring nostrils. Very good-looking woman, particularly in her youth. As she gets older, she does gain weight. Looks like she's got high cheekbones, almond-shaped eyes, and an oval to squarish kind of face, strong nose, the high cheekbones, the jaw goes in a little bit. She shows me sometimes she wears a wig, sometimes, and that's the only kind of hair I'm seeing right now. Can't see everything at the moment, but I do see the stockier build. I am also getting a choking in my throat and in my chest area, and I don't think that's me. I think that's their way of showing me, Spirit showing me that there's a problem in her breathing. Hold on. And her way of absorbing energy around her. What do you mean by that, Spirit? She's having a problem choking on her breath sometimes, but she also has problems with people in her life, other people in her life. Cloud her thinking, upset her, and her emotional control is bad for most of her life. She also has a problem like a downfall of character. She smokes, she drinks, and she's not very stable, wherever this is. And this is a new person. It could, let's say, if I know I brought in a grandmother of yours and had American Indian. Actually, I think both sides of your family have some American Indian in them. But this particular woman could have that American Indian in her, but she's just showing me a different part of herself right now. Part of herself that had weakness of character. And I would like to say, and I'm going to, that I have a feeling, I know emotional control was very difficult for her because she's highly charged and highly sensitive. And we've already said this to you in the past, Cece, that you do take after one of your grandmothers in being able to hear, feel, see, and know Spirit. And you also take after this particular grandma in this emotional charge. Like you are very sensitive. You're almost like, I don't know, magnet for energy, if you will. Now, from everything I'm saying, would you understand this for anyone you would know, love? Was she heavy set, honey? All right. Well, this particular person is overweight. She's on She has gives birth to a son. In other words, one of the things that happens to her during life on Earth is giving birth to a male child. That could be your father's mother, if you will. I'm just giving you that as additional evidence. And I'll see what else she wants to give me. Hold on. Flamboyant in her energy and her spirit. Talks to a lot of people on the other side. Oh, okay, she's even showing me more now. Would you have anybody who does Santeria in the family, or anybody who knows South American ways with energy and cigar smoking to bring in spirits? Would you know anyone like that? Well, that's who this person is. I'm sorry, I will honor this person. There's American Indian with this person. And that's where the smoking comes in, smoking of cigars and all. Now, you said there was a part of your family, makes up your father's line, I think, that had American Indian, right? You have American Indian in your, it's a father's line. It's on your father's side. That's where this person is coming from. She's coming up to father's line. She's showing me an American Indian back, a few generations. But you know how American Indians will use pipes and or cigars at times to bring in spirits, okay? So I want you to know that. And they're showing me that. She's on that side of the family. She's a grandmother of yours. She's saying that. And that's why she showed male under her, and that's the relationship to you. And also, I don't know how many generations back, and I don't like to go too many, but I do have to give you what I'm getting. And you're rather, you're younger. You're not an older person. You're like, what are you, 30s maybe? How old are you, honey? You're old. You're even under 30, so you're very young. Okay. So anyway, this is grandma. She also shows me she had diabetes. She had heart palpitations. She died younger, not older though. She didn't last very old. Okay. So all right. She also has diabetes. She's not feeling well. There's a couple of others. It's a heart thing. Okay, there she is. So she loves you very much. And she wants to come in again and say, you take after her temperamentally. And that's what she was trying to say earlier, temperamentally. You're a good person. You're a lovely woman. She says, you're very, very smart. You're very, very equal thinking. You never think about yourself first. You always think about everybody else first. She says, that upsets you sometimes. And she says, please understand how to accept this sensitivity in your nature and how to manage it differently. She says sometimes you get wired up like as if you don't even know where it's coming from, this emotion. Yeah, and she's saying you have to learn how to ground yourself better and speak to the spirits better. She says if you could understand your gift better, you would manage it better, and it wouldn't attack you so much. It wouldn't overwhelm you so much and take your breath away. She says it takes your breath away sometimes. She says, I am trying to heal you from spirit world to do this. Listen to the homily prayer I gave you when you were young. Interesting. Did you ever get a prayer or some kind of a poem or something from a family member? All right. She says, listen to the homily prayer. It was handed down the family. I gave it. She's from her. I gave it to you when you were young. I didn't give it directly, but it came to you through me. She says, a prayer of peace and understanding and clearing the soul and the spirit. God loves you very much, she says. Listen to your heart more about your work. Your heart is telling you the right thing to do. Now, I don't know if I don't know what that means, love. Okay, I'm letting you interpret that. But you and I have had some conversations about you becoming a professional soul seeker or soul, a medium or whatever you want to call it, soul communicator, if you will, spirit communicator. And she's saying that you have to do this. She's saying you have to do this. So I don't want to burden you too much. Oh, you are. She says grounding is important. Learn grounding next. Learn grounding. She also says learn how to close off your energy portals. She says that would be important. She says under your feet, there's a portal under each. She showed me portals under each foot. It's like as if it's open. You're very open energetically. There's also a portal at your stomach, and there's portals in the centers of the palms of your hands. She says learn about energy portals and openings, learning how to open and close and how to protect and how to ground. She says the word is grounding would be very beneficial to you right now. Okay, sweetheart? All right. Thank you, Cece. God bless, honey. Bye-bye. Thank you, too. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm going to go to Sabrina. Now, Susie B., I want you to listen to this. Sabrina wants an other side connection. Is that not interesting? Hi, Sabrina. I'm okay, but look at this. Your name's Sabrina. And by the way, everyone, my cat that passed away, her name is Sabrina. So it's a little, yeah, well, thank you, honey. I'm sorry about your loss as well, because the sound in your voice sounded very, very sad before. So, yeah, so I don't get a Sabrina on the show every day. So this is Spirit's way of my cat saying hello, even though you didn't realize it. Okay. All right, so let's see. Before I go to Spirit, is it an animal that you're wanting, honey, or is it a person? I have a feeling it's a woman is who I'm seeing here. All right, let me just see who that is, love. Sabrina, 435. Okay, there is a male. Yeah, it's a father figure to you. He's a very loving person, extremely loving man, loves you very, very much. There's a problem in the gut area, the stomach area, is like as if there's something going on with the stomach for this person. And there's also a sense of him having been a smoker. I also see a distended abdomen, which could mean one of two things. Either he's just drawing my attention into the stomach area. You know, sometimes they exaggerate a body part, they want me to see it. Or just to show me he literally was carrying extra weight. There's a few other things going on. Okay, so first of all, I see a stomach that's sticking out. So I'm assuming it means extra weight. Would you understand that, please? All right. I also understand this person did smoke, I believe, cigarettes or cigars or something like that. Would you want, for who you are thinking of, would you think of, would you agree with that, please? Okay. There's also okay, I didn't say this yet before, but there is something, his coloring is light, fair-skinned, and he's got this country feel to him, as if he's in the country a lot. Would that make sense to you, please? All right. And I don't know if he literally had a beard and soft brown hair, but I do see that, so I want to say that also. Would you understand? Okay. And he's got, all right. And the hair color, natural hair color, and I don't see it outside of natural right now. In other words, it could have gotten white. I just don't see the white because he chooses to show me his natural hair color is a mid-tone brown. It's on the lighter side, a light brown. Would you understand that, please? Yeah. All right. And he's a very kind person, and we already said very loving, loves you very much. We also said that there's something going on in the gut that has to do with his passing. Two things about the gut. One is it's bigger, it's sticking out. Two is that there's something going on in the stomach area. Now, would you understand that for a health issue, please? I think I do. All right. He says he was throwing up all the time towards the end of his life. He didn't feel good at all. All right. All right. Well, then he's confirming that. Okay. I'm going to ask you to only yes or no on things, so you don't reveal too much. The spirit can give you the evidence, honey. So just relax. And thank you so much for that confirmation. So he's thinking about you all the time in the spirit world. He says he's not he's not alone here. There's other people with him. There's a friend, and there's also mother type to you. So it could be a grandma, it could be your actual mother, but there's mommy, there's a friend, there's other people to you around him. People to you are with him. So he wants you to know he's not alone. There are friends and family around him. I'm not going to try to develop them, obviously, at this moment. But he's thinking of you all the time in the spirit world. He knows that you think of him in the spirit world. He says, thank you for doing that. Hold on one second. I'm asking him something. I'm calmer than you think here. It's better than you think here. I'm not upset anymore about the loss. I'm not upset anymore about where I am. It was difficult for me to go here, to spirit. He says, but now that I'm in spirit, I'm calm, I'm centered, I'm grounded. And actually, I'm very, very happy. Huh, interesting. All right. So I guess I can ask you, can you confirm, was he upset before he was leaving Earth that he didn't want to pass? I mean, I guess it's kind of an obvious thing, but some people are more that way than others. Would you understand that, please, Sabrina? Well, he's okay now. He's feeling fine. He's with friends and family. He also does show me a little cat around him. Not my cat, I don't think, but I think there's a family cat that's also with him. I won't develop that unless you want me to. There is a cat there. Does anybody in the family lose a cat that you know of, honey? Just yes or no, honey. Okay. So that, all right. Well, there's a darker cat, like a fluffy dark cat. Okay? So like a black cat, something like that. That's a family member that's with him, floating around. Let's see, what else we could say about him? He says he's your father. Would you understand that, please? He's your father. Would you understand that, please? Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So he is a father. All right, fine. Okay, so he loves you very much. He's thinking about you as much as you're thinking about him. He says, you've got to let go of that. I don't know what that means. Hold on for a second. That breath thing you're doing all the time. Are you breathing deeply, or are you having trouble breathing, honey? Anything to do with breathing? Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. He says, you've got to stop doing that breath thing you're doing all the time. He says, you'll get over this soon. He says, I'm okay where I am. He says, I'm looking in on you and the family constantly. He says, you're not alone in the spirit realm, meaning he's not alone in the spirit realm, but you're not alone either on earth, he says. You have friends and family about you. Please, please, please love yourself as much as I love you now. You're responsible now to take care of yourself and the family as best you can. Now he shows me you have a brother around you on earth. Would you understand that, please? Okay. Well, it gives me the feeling of like brothers. Okay. He gives me that feeling of like male brothers to you, or a male brother to you, that you need to listen to them more. You need to do the things they're saying. You need to relax into this. He says, eventually you will start to heal. He says, I know this is traumatic for you. He says, it is traumatic for me. He says, but I have adjusted well here in the spirit realm, and I will be safe here for now. He says, you're a wonderful, beautiful child. He says, child, wonderful, beautiful woman, and I love you very, very much. Oh, and take care of our children. He gives me the feeling that there are 2 children. And would you understand 2 children, please? Okay. All right, 2 children. One is older than the other. Of course, one's older than the other, sir. Wouldn't that have to be? This is one is older than the other. I am with her. I think there's a female in spirit that's with him. Would you understand that, please?
Yeah.
And she was the older of the two?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's there with him, and she loves him very much. He says, and I'm going to get a little bit emotional, there's a meaning to our passing now, don't you think? He says, we can take care of each other in spirit while you take care of the boy, our boy on earth, you see. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, so that he's with her, and so the family is almost as if he was called to be around her in spirit so that she wouldn't be without her father. He can be there now for her. He wants you to see that as meaningful and that you can help. That, in other words, see it as constructive, that now your daughter has a father there and your son has a mother on earth, you see. So he's trying to give you ideas like this to help you, honey, heal and to feel somewhat better about this, love. I give you my my blessings, love, and my condolences, honey. I'm so sorry for your loss, love.
Thank you so much.
Yes, God bless, honey. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Well, that's a rough one. That's a rough one. Okay, I'm going now to Susie. Oh, no, I can't go to Susie anymore. She left a donation. I have to, she's giving me instructions to do something. Okay, now everybody, I'm going to now go by who's been waiting longest in the queue. And that would be, looks like Rachel. Rachel? I'm good, you know, I'm good. It's just a little bit emotional because of all this emotional stuff going on. Yeah. So what I want you to do, Rachel, love, is I want you to give me just the question, no background, okay? Don't ruin it, because if you give me too much information, then Spirit can't give you the purest, clearest answer. So go ahead and just give me the question.
I'd like to know. I'm around you.
Oh, so you're wanting another side? You're wanting another side connection. Okay. So let me just explain. Well, I try to only do two because they take a long while. Okay, go ahead then. All right, Rachel, let's see what we get for you, honey. And of course, your mother is around you, love. Rachel 510, love, yes or no? Yes, of course, love's coming in for you. Hold on. This is almost like a matter of fact thing. You really don't have to worry too much about love or think too much about love. There's always somebody there for you. But I think it's a more important question than that. I think it's more of like, is somebody in particular coming in? Maybe you're trying to make it like you don't want to even think of the past, trying to be, you know, what I'm getting is somebody from the past is coming back in. Now, would you understand that, honey? Are you thinking of someone from the past? Okay. And you haven't had anyone that you've even dated in 8 years? All right. All right, hold on. By the end of this year, December 2017, somebody for Rachel. Yes, of course, again, the same thing comes in. You have no problem in meeting people, of course. The question is somebody special that you can get close with and that you would want to marry and or have a commitment with. Okay, and so they're, right, they need to start there with me. Okay, that's fine. And you are a very smart woman. You know what to do to find people. The problem is that when you do find people, they never seem to be correct for you, your energy, what you're looking for, and what you really want. And there's another thing that Spirit wants to tell you about this. is that overanalyzing can keep you detached, and that it is important for you to relax a little bit more about the process and be less analytical and more emotional. Finding ways to connect emotionally with people will be a new thing for you, but they're inviting you into learning how to do that. Once you're more on a less intellectual and more emotional. I don't know why they mean this, honey, but I always trust my messages 100%. So I'm going to invite you to do the same, because I know it may not resonate what's coming through, but I want you to just take it in and we'll see what we can do with it, okay? They're saying that if you could be more emotional and less analytical, more in the moment and less analytical, and not be so afraid anymore of meeting the wrong person, but trusting in the process of spirit leading you forward, you will find that the doorways, the energy will open to you, and you will be able to find the right person. And by the end of this year, or even sooner. The problem is not so much in where is that person. The problem, if we want to call it a problem, is that you are having problems relaxing and allowing things to flow. When you are able to just simply be with whomever it is, you will find that each person is singularly perfect for you. We know this may sound odd, but you are always radiating your energy out, and always what is coming in is right for you on some levels. It is not the fact you've not met the right person. It is the fact that you are somehow shielding and protecting. We want you to invite in people on a regular basis into your energy sphere, not literally to their face, but more on an emotional level, as if you would go into prayer on a daily basis and allow and ask Spirit to help you allow to feel the connection. It's the connection, it's the emotions, is where you're at. That's the thing that's needed. And the way to do this is by inviting the energy in of connection. Ask Spirit God, ask God for help with this, and you will be able to invite in the energy that will work with you. So what we have said now, we will say it a different way, is that there are many people that would resonate. The problem is you've been very guarded in your approach. Letting down your defense mechanisms through prayer will help, and the right person will then present. And you will say to yourself, this is interesting. I wonder why I didn't notice this before. You will start to notice with each new person something new you didn't notice before. You will start to, at first, have connections, liking this one, liking that one, but then suddenly one will come in that will be even better for you. You have many interests, and it is difficult to exactly match who you are to someone else. We do agree, but the emotional thing is easier. Start with the emotions, and then you will find that everything else will fall into place. We hope that this makes sense to you. Namaste. I hope that that does make sense to you, Rachel.
Yeah, very much. So thank you. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome, honey. God bless. Love. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm now going to go to Brittany, who's been waiting quite a long time. Brittany, hello there, sweetheart. I'm great, darling. And I think you have a love life question, right? All right. Okay. All right. So you're saying, all right. So let me just reframe the question. You're asking if love is available, if you will be meeting someone soon, or what is going on in the area of love for you? Because this could mean a lot of different things. You know? That's right. All right. And his initials are, please. L as in love. What? Okay. And, so it's a long distance relationship. Where does he live now? You said something. I couldn't get it. Chicago. Okay, let's see. All right, let me just see something. LH and Brittany at 803. Hold on. Yeah, it's going to work out. it's a very good relationship. I get a really good feeling about this. I get a feeling of marriage. I get a feeling of a true connection. And I want to cry again. Tonight's my night for crying. I just feel so good about this. I feel you found your love finally. And I know it's hard to know that. Yeah, I know it's hard to know that from a long distance, you know, but you're going to see he's solid. When you come into town, he's going to be there for you. And I think that at that time, you'll start talking about a long-term plan for the both of you. So I don't think you already told me he's moving to where you are. And he wants to do that. If there's anything, I'm looking to see if there's anything else I need to see. I just see a marriage there. I see a marriage eventually. So if you, well, I just see a lot of emotion there, but good emotion. I see a solid person there. I see you with, you know, both of you have a really great connection. And it's like a soulmate thing. And I want to remind you, or twin flame, people these days call twin flame soulmates, whatever it is, that when we have our relationships with our loved one, whoever it is, you know, our romantic relationships, all of them, heterosexual, you know, or homosexual. Yours is heterosexual, I know. But each of these relationships is there for growth. And so it's quite often we have ups and downs, jealousy, other women things, all kinds of things. But it's not so much what you had to go through. It's more important to notice what you did go through. And if you've healed, you know, if you've grown from it. And I get a very good yes on this. So I'm liking it, honey. You're welcome, darling. You have a great trip, okay? You're welcome. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm going to Andy, who's been waiting an inordinate amount of time. Hello, Andy. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Andy. Okay, sweetheart. So if you would please ask your question then, and don't give me a lot of background. We'll get right to it. Yeah. All right. He's rough. This is a rough situation. You know, I'm getting that there's a lot of friction on the other end, but you're not, no, you're really asking, what I'm getting is you're really asking me, how do I get through this without creating more turmoil than there already is? I'm a smart person. I don't want to inflame or, you know, antagonize, but dang, this tiger is a rough one to tame. You know what I mean? That's kind of like what I'm seeing, you know. And you're smart enough to know that you don't want to blame it all on somebody else. But that's the way Spirit is showing it to me. Is the other person is, oh goodness, hold on. They're giving me more information to help you handle it differently. Hold on. He's, okay, he has a hallucination about who he really is. Like his self-esteem is overinflated. He's an overinflated sense of self and importance. And so, yeah. Yeah, and it makes it really hard because no matter what you say, you'll always be in a losing, you can't win here, okay, in that sense. You can't win in terms of completing the situation. It will never be complete. It will always be a difficult situation. You know, you're smart, you're wise, you know a lot about all these things. So but let me see if I can give you something here that will help you disinflame. Okay, so they keep telling me the ego is raw, the ego needs to be fed So the best way to kind of handle this is like feeding a steak to a lion is feed his ego. You know, always approach it from that perspective. Know that that's the thing that causes, it's the root of all the problems, causes the antagonism. It causes everything. And that's the only, I don't know, key to unlocking this to make it a little bit more palatable. It feels like you will never be completely extricated because there seems to be family ties, offspring or something. What is it that I can't see it exactly? Andy, it looks like there's never going to be you're never going to be able to be completely free. So this is something you'll always have to manage. Yeah, you understand what I mean by that? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, and I don't feel you'll ever, I think he pushes your buttons also, although you're smarter, you know. But it's just one of those things you'll never really be able to fully extricate because he will always be able to harbor emotional feelings in you. He will be able to trigger them in you. He knows how to get to your buttons. You know about all of this. So the only way is, right, you understand it all. Doesn't mean it doesn't bother you. Doesn't mean he can't trigger you because he knows where to go to hit the buttons, the buttons, the buttons. Your self-esteem is pretty good for the most part, okay? You have grown a lot in this situation. You will continue to grow in this situation so that it will be less and less, he will be less and less able to trigger you and emotional responses. Continue what you're doing. Why are they using the word sober? Keeping the relationship as it ends as sober as possible. Sobriety is an issue in this particular situation. Would you understand that, please? I'm not sure what that means. Yeah. Okay, that's what it is then, because what this is he has emotional control issues. Yeah, so we want to look at that as so we need to keep the situation sober. And so the way we do that, the way we keep him sober is we try not to inflame his ego. It's all about his ego. It's all about his self-esteem. It's all about, let's see what you could do though. Hold on, because you can't, I mean, you're not his mother. You can't, heal him. Hold on. Whatever, give me his initials, please. CS, hold on. Yeah, C is in cool, S is in smart. Hold on, CS. Well, eventually you will get through this. You will move on to somebody else. I just see him turning away from you and walking away, defeated, if you will. And the answer here is he cannot, if he can't get energy from you, he will not be interested any longer in haunting you. And so that what you understand what that means? Yeah. When you are no longer triggered by his barbs at you, he will be defeated in this game. Because people that are unresolved inside themselves, who have emotional sobriety issues, I'll just use it like that. You may not technically drink, but you could have the emotional makeup of somebody who could become an alcoholic, right? So he's looking to get high off of your sadness. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, he literally gets a charge when you're not happy, when he upsets you. It makes him feel good about himself. And usually, I won't go so far as to say, but usually narcissistic types who are undeveloped emotionally and have low developed empathy qualities, they're around to suck the energy of other people, and that's the category he's falling into. So the way out of this, the way out of this is to learn how to not give him what he's trying to go after, which is your emotional response. And the way you do that is by working on yourself and your happiness, by being the cause of your happiness as much as possible. And also, well, the way to do that is just simply learn how to connect to your inner goodness, your own soul, which is connecting you to God and higher power. And this is part of a coaching program that I've written called Soul Abundance, which is a spiritual program. It's basically like the 12-step program. I'm going to give you a real thing to latch to, you and who you are. And Andy, you're 913 Andy. When you latch into this, you will be able to be relieved of response to him. Hold on. Andy at 913. Okay, so what I see in you is a person who's very sweet. You have almost a caretaker tendency, if you will. You're very concerned with the welfare of others. And so, he latched onto you like a barnacle to a boat. But now what you need to do is honor that part of yourself and employ it in a conscious and constructive way in the service of yourself and others. Others that will appreciate this and not abuse it. So you've been sort of sapped or somebody's taken advantage of your kindness, if you will. And so your kindness is your gift. It's your beautiful, sweet nature. You're a kind, nurturing individual. So I want you to honor that. I want you to see it in yourself. And I want you to now be more conscious and aware of where you are employing this beautiful gift of giving and being a sweet, gentle soul. I hope that this makes sense to you, Andy.
Thank you so much for talking about. Thank you.
God bless, love. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, we are going to go to Brianna, who's been waiting an inordinate amount of time. And I ended up opening up Lori's. Lori, honey, I cannot do any more other side connections, and I actually meant to go to Brianna. Can we do you at another time, sweetheart? Yes, I'm so sorry, honey. What happened is the switchboard slipped up, and I can't do another side connection because we're near the end of the show, and it just takes too long, love. Call in another time, and if you do, remind me or remind Susie B, or say it in the chat room or email me that day saying I wasn't taken last show, and I'll give you priority, okay? Oh, I can't hear her because I closed the line. Is that okay, Lori? All right, well, thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to Brianna. Brianna, sweetheart, go ahead. Hi, sweetheart. Just give me your question, love. No background, okay?
Okay. I just wanted to know if you
Did you hear that 90 seconds? Yeah, you heard it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's fine. Not a big deal. I'm just letting you know that we're on. It's okay. We can still talk. I do actually see your ex. You said your ex contacting you?
Yeah.
Do I see him? That's interesting. So your question is, will he continue to contact you as he has been doing? Oh, okay, great. Because that's what I thought your question was, and the answer was screaming at me. Yes, well, and I want to see why. I have to give you another. What we have to validate it, honey. Okay, rather than me just say yes. So BS to Brianna, 316. Will he be contacting her, yes or no? He is going to contact you. It seems like he's coming home soon or into the area soon of where you live. That might have been, maybe he was away for a while or something, but he's coming into your vicinity soon. And I don't know if they just mean energy system of who you are or just logically, just geographically. But I hear coming home soon or coming back into your area. He's been He's been away for a while, and that's what's caused the break or breach in communication. I think you might have heard from somebody who will be coming around to the area again, and this is what's making you think about it. Would you understand that, please? Okay, but what makes you think he, why are you even asking the question? I'll link it all together. Why do you think he might be? Okay, you see what I'm saying? What is the precipitating event? What creates this question in your mind? Did you start to have dreams about him? Do you just keep thinking about him? Okay, all right. Randomly, okay. Well, again, I'll say he feels like he's coming back into the area. So what we're going to say then is coming back into your life. And I didn't get the confirmation of the dreams, but is something going on there energetically? And the answer is yes. And I'm going to leave it at that for today. And I think you will be hearing from him very soon in the next month. I see 1 week to 3 weeks. 1 second. BS to Brianna. Yeah, 1 to 3 weeks. And I think that he has broken off with some other relationship. I don't know if you've heard about that. What was that, honey? Okay, there's your confirmation that they've broken off. You see, that's the confirmation. Okay? So you'll be hearing from him soon. He's gonna sound kind of, well, let me just add, he's gonna sound free and breezy, like, hi, Brianna, what's going on? But don't mistake that, you know, he's more than just asking. Well, that's what I'm trying to say, is I think he's gonna act like he's just, you know, saying hello. But I do think he'd be interested. Does he have feelings right now? No, I mean, he liked the other girl a lot, but I do feel he's thinking of you because he's thinking of the good times you spent, and maybe he would have feelings for you, and he wants to revisit that. That's what I'm trying to say. You're welcome, love. Thank you, love. Bye-bye. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for calling in. We look forward to working with you again later in the week on Wednesday. We have a show at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you would like a private session with me, just go to booklaura.com. If you put radio show in the event code field, you will obtain a third more time for free. Thanks, everybody, and have a beautiful day or evening, depending on your time zone. Bye-bye.